Funding provided by
Musco Lighting is honored to support Iowa PBS. We're an Iowa company that lights local schools, community fields, and stadiums, arenas, and venues in more than 125 countries. While our reach is global, our commitment is local.
Fareway Meat and Grocery. For more than 80 years, Fareway has been proud to be an active part of the communities we serve. Learn more at fareway.com.
Across Iowa, hundreds of neighborhood banks strive to serve their communities, provide jobs, and help local businesses. Iowa banks are proud to back the life you build. Learn more at iowabankers.com.
With our Iowa roots and Midwestern values, Farmers Mutual Hail is committed to offering innovative farm insurance for America's farmers, just as we have for 6 generations. Farmers Mutual Hail, America's crop insurance company.
It is time for state championship soccer. Iowa PBS is here at the Cyclone Sports Complex in Ames to bring you the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union State Soccer Championships. Today we open up with Class 1A. And how about this? Top-seeded Denver takes on perennial power Davenport Assumption in the opener. Hi again, everyone, with Gilbert head coach Heather Kearns. This is BJ Shaven. And coach, what a matchup. We start with offensively minded Denver against the defensive juggernaut in Assumption.
Really excited for this championship game today. Assumption, so strong in the back line. Denver, they're just a powerhouse of strong leadership, and they're ready to take them on, I bet.
Well, let's get introduced to these two teams a little bit more intimately. Let's turn it over to today's public address announcer, Jason Esslinger.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2025 Girls State Soccer Championships presented by Iowa Farm Bureau. This morning's matchup features the Assumption Knights and the Denver Cyclones. It's now time to introduce the players in today's championship matchup. First, the non-starters for Davenport Assumption. Number 1, Lennon Riberty. Number 11, Izzy Motto. Number 14, Kathleen Yates. Number 15, Delaney O'Hare-Logan. Number 17, Natalie Stombra. Number 20, Maddie Martinez. Number 21, Ava Waldron. Number 25, Lainey Peterson. Number 27, Kason Kurtz. Number 32, Sadie Nolan. And number 33, Tatiana Bakic. Now the non-starters for Denver. Number 2, Addison Rome. Number 3, Jules Neubauer. Number 5, Adeline Decker. Number 7, Hazel Colesrud. Number 12, Emily Muellert. Number 13, Mackenzie Simmons. Number 15, Grace Mullahan. Number 19, Kenna Rothmeyer. Number 20, Sydney Krabenhoft. Number 21, Alexis Milder. Number 22, Aubrey Jurgens. Number 23, Nancy Vandewally. Number 25, Evie Shaya. Number 26, Seraphie Osterly. Number 27, Maddie Johnson. Number 24, Elise Ricketts. And 69, Chrisanne Wirchis. Now let's meet the starters for Davenport Assumption. Number 1, Alyssa O'Neill. Number 4, Gabby Stoffregan. Number 5, Ella Kuro. Number 8, Drew Dorsey. Number 9, Caitlin O'Brien. Number 10, Heather Jondal. Number 12, Cameron Menke. Number 13, Anna Wyman. Number 19, Ruby Stevens. Number 22, Amelie Yates. And 24, Maddie Toll. The head coach for Davenport Assumption is Elizabeth Moss. She's assisted by Michael Harrington. Now the starters for the home team, the Denver Cyclones. Number 0, Adiana Mulch. Number 4, Addison Shepard. Number 6, Mackenzie McEwen. Number 8, Kira Gerke. Number 9, Alyssa Harberts. Number 10, Elena Akers. Number 11, Bailey Mullahan. Number 14, Anna Mullert. Number 16, Maya Rosenkrantz. Number 17, Kenzie Snyder. Number 18, Miranda Thurn. The head coach for Denver is Derek Kriesbach. He's assisted by Kane Engel, Marissa Lopez, Sammy Gerke, and Emma Hennessy. The officials for today's match: the referee is Miranda Woodcock. Assistant referees are Jacqueline Kellum and Courtney Woodcock. The fourth official today is Crystal Tate. Ladies and gentlemen, the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union would like to take this quick opportunity to recognize Jim Albertson for his outstanding service. Jim is retiring as the Director of Soccer Officials at the IGHSAU following today's championship matches. His dedication and expertise in training and retaining soccer officials have been invaluable to our organization and the sport of soccer. His contributions will be greatly missed. Thank you, Jim, and congratulations on your well-earned retirement. Ladies and gentlemen, if you'd please stand and remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem.
There is nothing better than brunch soccer. And how about this? It's the 1A state championship match as the Denver Cyclones take on the Davenport Assumption Knights, who come in as the number 3 seed. As these two squads ready to do battle out on the pitch, as we take a look at their tournament resumes coming into this one. First up for Davenport Assumption, you've seen them before. 18 consecutive state tournament appearances, but 11 championships, which is a record in the state of Iowa. They've got a very experienced team, 6 returning starters, 9 seniors in their lineup. And they've got Drew Dorsey. She leads the team with 36 goals, and Alyssa O'Neill, look out for her. She's only allowed 8 goals this season. It's her first year in at net. Meanwhile, for the Denver Cyclones, it's their 4th trip to state. They were runners-up last year to Nevada, losing 2-0. They've got 5 different players who've scored in the tournament. And then you've got Alyssa Harberts and Miranda Thurn and junior Grace Mullahan. They were members of last year's 1A all-tournament team. So a lot of experience back, Coach, which could bode well for Denver. But there's also experience on the other side with Assumption.
They are no... it's not new to them to be at this state championship game. Fun for Denver to make it back again 2 years in a row, and I bet they're really trying to put the cherry on top this year.
Well, for Assumption, it's been 3 years, though, since they've played in the state championship match. They won the coin toss. They'll start with the ball first. They're going to run a 4-4-2 today. And for Denver, their formation will look more of a 4-3-3 as this one is getting underway. Again, keep an eye on Drew Dorsey, as Assumption wants to put a lot of pressure on the ball. The conditions here today, it's just absolutely gorgeous for soccer. Overcast, not very warm. The field is in great shape, as you would expect here at Iowa State University, as Assumption and Denver, again, meeting for the first time, too. They've never played against one another, and it comes here in the 1A title match as they try to stretch it out to Dorsey.
Set up,
as we're going to see a lot of action here at the midfield here early on. You've coached in the state championship before 2 years ago. Didn't want to bring that up, but you played against Heelan.
We did. We got to play against Heelan in that game. Beautiful conditions today. That day, I would say pretty darn hot, but today this looks great for them. They shouldn't hopefully get too tired with the conditions, but I know they'll be working really hard.
Here's Akers with the ball right now. Denver looking to run a little bit more spacing. That was an issue in one of their earlier games in which they won in the opener against Underwood 5-3, as this one's going to be rolled up to O'Neill, who will look to kickstart it again from net. And again, just so impressive for Alyssa O'Neill as she puts the ball in play. She transferred into Davenport Assumption from Bettendorf, where she had played 3 years as a varsity starter, but in the field, and then transferred to net this year. That's a tough task to make that transition, and she's done it exceptionally well.
Well, it tells me that she's a really coachable player to be able to come into a brand new position, and that's what you look for in a teammate or a player that you're having on the field.
Now offensively for Assumption, they're going to try to shoot it here to the near side to Toll. And Denver defensively able to get back here, at least in formation, as they're going to rule this one out. And last touch by the Cyclones. So defensively, Miranda Thurm, who's been good all season. In fact, Coach DK Kriesbach calls her the smartest player out on the field. She's going to be tasked or try to slow down Drew Dorsey. An Assumption with another throw here with Maddie Toll. She had a goal against Nevada in the opener and also with an assist. As that one's, again, Assumption going to have another throw here, but Denver having trouble clearing it.
Yeah, just kind of clearing it to the side. I'm happy to see they're not clearing it to the middle because I see a lot of white shirts right there.
Well, let's take a look at our keys to the match here for the Davenport Assumption Knights, coming in at 14-4-1 overall. Coach, what do you have drawn up here?
Oh, for the Davenport Assumption, they need to be better at the midfield. They got to be stronger there. It looks like they have a little bit more presence there today. It's early in the game, but I would like to see them capitalize on their opportunities that they get their ball in the middle and they do something with it, distribute it to the sides.
Now Denver trying to stretch it out as this one rolls away from Assumption and Kate O'Brien, but she'll track it down as they were trying to lead it out towards Harvards, and the Cyclones will get an opportunity. We'll take a look at Denver's keys to the match here in just a moment as the Cyclones, well, let's take a look at them now. What do they need to do?
Denver should stay aggressive in all positions. They need to make sure that they're keeping their shape. Like BJ talked about earlier, they got a little clumped up early on, but we're hoping that they do that. Just to distribute the ball out to the sides would be great.
Now a goal kick here coming up for the Denver Cyclones, and Adina Merge, you know, we talked so much about O'Neill. Actually, as they'll put it in play with Akers right to the midfield, but O'Neill has been challenged. She's just a freshman. She had 4 saves against Underwood and 6 saves in the semifinals to help them advance as they beat Hudson 2-1, excuse me, and that one was in overtime. We had mentioned the weather here just a moment ago, Coach, about overcast, chance of rain. They had rain earlier this week.
Oh, yeah, a downpour on Tuesday. Lots of water, but, you know, they've gotten to play in all kinds of different conditions today. The field is beautiful, like you said, but a lot of these teams play on turf, so you just have to make that adjustment for the rolling of the ball.
Elizabeth Moss, she's been here before, head coach for Assumption. She actually played for Assumption as part of their first ever state title. As again, the Cyclones just having trouble getting it towards net. And Assumption will go with the quick throw with Shepard. They'll leave it ahead to Harvards, who touches it for the first time, and an opportunity will center it, the pass, and it goes in, and goal for Assumption. As they strike first, Harvards able to connect with a teammate, And Davenport Assumption will score the game's first goal. So Dorsey able to connect with Ruby Stevens. That's her second goal of the state tournament. And Assumption strikes first, which is huge.
That was a great cross from the end line, cut back to Dorsey. Dorsey was just in the right place at the right time. I love that.
Can see why Dorsey, heavily recruited, going to be going on to play at the University of Cincinnati. She'll be back playing on this field as Cincinnati is part of the Big 12 Conference. And I think she likes playing on this surface, no doubt, as she was able to get the assist there. It's her second assist here of the state tournament. She already has 2 goals in the tournament and scored the lone goal in the semifinals against Heelan. Assumption again. This is where they put a lot of pressure on you, as they'll swim it down deep to Thurm. Now Toll trying to hit it to the middle to Dorsey. Denver having trouble clearing it. Another opportunity. Dorsey will go to the outside as Assumption looks to stretch it out a little bit. Now Gerke. Denver back on the possession. Snyder along that far sideline just lost the handle. And again, defensively, Assumption's been stout. That's O'Brien again. Last year, Nevada beat Denver in the final 2-0. In a similar type fashion in which Nevada was able to jump out early on Denver and prevailed throughout. Now the Cyclones are going to have to come back if they want to win their school's first ever state title. Here's Dorsey. This is dangerous. Too much of a lead pass, as it'll be a goal kick here coming up for Denver. What do you think? Assumption playing a lot more forward here today.
They're really putting a lot of pressure. It seems like they're getting to all the 50-50 balls. And Denver's having a hard time making connected passes.
Shepard has it taken away. Good steal by Stombaugh. Now Dorsey. Again, they'll shoot it ahead as Stopper again trying to find Dorsey.
Yep, no foul there.
As it was a clean play and tackle by Denver. Here's Yates. Open field. Will try to power that one through. Denver able to get in front of it. Again to the outside. That's Wyman. And it'll be a throw from the sideline here for Assumption. Anna Wyman, the senior, will put it in play. And we'll do it all over again. Again, 1-0 on the goal scored by Ruby Stevens. And the assist by Drew Dorsey. The Knights have struck first. And what's interesting, in the last 7 state titles that Assumption has won, they've never had to play from behind. They've always scored the game's first goal.
I know they did that on us.
And us being Gilbert, we're joined by Gilbert head coach Heather Currens here today on Iowa PBS. As this is one of 3 state championships today. Now Denver looking to, again, hold their shape. But you can see in the close proximity, they're not able to stretch it out very much. At the top, they're trying to identify Harberts. It's going to be nullified, though, by Menke. Menke again will turn the ball around. And you have to wonder, you know, Denver, in talking with Coach Kriesbach before the game, he had mentioned, you know, they play on some short fields. This is a very large field as they try to hit the lead pass to the out. And Denver will have a throw here. So it's a little bit of a difference, you know, with the size of the field, the scope.
Yes, I'm sure that it does make a difference. You know, you think that all the fields are going to be the same when you're playing, but they definitely are not. So you have to be prepared for all those different opportunities, different variables in this game.
Here's Stevens. Ruby putting it down the near sideline. Still on the left foot, will center it. This is going to be quickly caught up by Denver.
Good.
And what you want to do to stem the tide there. As Kara Gerke was able to get it going. Now they're going to try to stretch it out to Shepard, the freshman, trying to track down that ball down. But Jondal is there, will bump it out, and it will be a throw deep on their side for the Denver Cyclones.
It's really the first chance that Denver's had down in that last third.
So with the throw here is Bailey Molahan. Tries to get it to the middle. This is deep. And still going with it is Shepard. The centering pass a little too high, but it will be going down to the outside to Gerke. We'll pass it back out. Again, Denver trying to go to the middle. Now the shot towards the top, and that one is just going to be wide left. Again, O'Neal had that pipe covered up. And now we'll do a goal kick. Boy, Shepard with the opportunity there. And Denver a little bit shorthanded throughout the season. Shepard, the freshman, coming in place of Grace Molahan, who was their outstanding player from a year ago. Molahan out with a shoulder injury and actually had surgery. But Shepard, as Coach Kriesbach has said, has played incredible this year.
She was very strong in the first two games that I saw her play here at the state tournament.
And for a freshman to step up, and here she is again. Here's Shepard on the outside centering, but nobody home. Would have been offsides too, as Denver was not at the ready. Had they connected, now Molahan, as again they try to play it forward.
Denver seems to be getting a little bit more organized together.
And McEwen again on that far sideline will look to throw. But again, as they try to get some spacing here as they go to the outside. Here's Bailey Molahan now to the middle. Molahan will try to touch it up as player had slipped for Denver. To the near side to Mullard. Just lost it. And quickly to cover up on it is Toll for Assumption. Again, they try to stretch it out. Ruby Stevens trying to track it down for Assumption, and the Knights are going to get a throw here. Again, a 1-0 lead as we're nearing the midway point here of the first half. Toll will play it close to Stevens. And this will go out. A goal kick here for Denver. And it looks like we're going to see our first substitutes of the game coming in. Elise Rickards, the freshman, will check in for the first time today. And also coming into the contest is going to be Alexis Milder, a junior. She will check into the contest for Anna Mullert. And also out of the game will be Kara Gerke for the Denver Cyclones. Again, for high school soccer, you can substitute as frequently as much as needed or wanted. And so they are allowed to re-enter. And what's been new this year for high school soccer is the ability for ties. No overtimes during the regular season, so you're seeing a lot of teams with that. Here's Dorsey deep, and we'll try to shoot it to the inside, and again, Dorsey able to track it down, and this will roll out. And a last touch by Assumption. Dorsey trying to plead her case to say, no, it should be a corner, but it was ruled out on Assumption. So a goal kick here coming up for the Denver Cyclones. How was that this year with the ties?
That was interesting. We had a tie. It leaves it a little unfinished, but we have also been in game situations where we maybe dominated possession in the game, had more shots, ends in a tie, goes to PKs, and the other team wins. So I can kind of see both sides.
And maybe keeps you fresher for the season, as this will be a throw here coming up for Denver.
Oh, for sure. That was kind of the main reason why the switch was made, I believe, is just to protect the athletes. You know, refs are kind of at a shortage, and so for officials to not have to have such long nights too, I think kind of all of the players, not just the players on the field, that kind of determined needing to just go to ties.
So let me ask you this, Coach. What is Assumption doing? Because Denver has not been able to get it to their playmaker and Harberts very much in this first half. Now they stretch it out, though, to Shepard. The freshman along the end line will scoot it to the middle of the centering pass. It's left up, but the kick goes high. What an opportunity, but just too hard on the follow-through by Kenzie Snyder.
Wow, that was great. Denver had 3 players there in the box ready to receive that cross. That was great.
Just a little too much, and Snyder knew it right off of her foot. Assumption holds their 1-0 lead. Denver starting to get a little stronger on their offensive possessions here. What an opportunity, though, for the Cyclones. Assumption able to capitalize on their first opportunity as Dorsey hit a crossing pass to Ruby Stevens, who connected for the game's only goal. Here's the before-mentioned Ruby Stevens, trying to weave her way through traffic, and the defense comes up big here for the Cyclones. Try to go to Shepard, the freshman, working against the senior.
Oh.
Now to the middle, nobody home on the outer wing. Toll will kick it out, and it will be a throw for the Cyclones deep.
Let's see what Denver can do with this.
Looking to set up Bailey Molahan, the junior, will look to throw. She's really been dangerous this season on centerpieces. Now with the high throw. Oh, they tried to hit it with the pass. A lot of contact as Kenzie Snyder went down hard. And no foul called. That would have been deep inside of the zone.
Their fans aren't too happy about that one.
They can hear it as a hard play. Let's take a look at it again. As we'll set up a corner kick here, the first corner kick of the day. As Denver will put Addison Shepard with the duties. Shepard with 7 assists on the season. The centering pass headed back out. That was Dorsey who got in on it for Assumption. Denver trying to go more forward. Here's Shepard, and that's going to be out. We'll go back to Assumption. So a couple of opportunities here so far for the Denver Cyclones. And Assumption, as we've seen throughout not only this tournament, but the season, holding strong. Assumption, this team, a lot of experience as they've returned 9 seniors, 6 returning starters. Again, 11 state championships for the Knights. Last season got bounced in the opening round 5-1, but have came back this season with a vengeance, getting to the championship match. and giving up just a goal in the last month. The Cyclones, though, trying to put their will out onto the field. Mullahan out into space. Here deep inside of the zone to Kenzie Snyder. Again, Assumption trying to swarm the ball. And this is going to be a corner kick coming up. How about the heads-up play there by Bailey Mullahan going off of the defender of Assumption to get the corner, Coach?
Well, this is going to be great. Addison Shepard is awesome on a corner kick, and it looks like Denver's got a lot of people in the box ready to head that in, hopefully. I love a header goal.
Here's Shepard. Tries to go out. It'll be booted by Assumption. But again, a lot of pressure here by the Cyclones, but unable to capitalize yet. The Knights have been so strong defensively. That's your trademark Assumption team, coached by Elizabeth Moss.
Number 12, Cameron Menke on Assumption in the back line. I really enjoy watching her play. She's not super tall, but she doesn't act like it.
Again, overcast conditions today, showers in the area. In fact, 70% chance of rain. We hope it stays rain. If it goes to lightning, we will delay the championship match here. But the Girls High School Athletic Union is monitoring the situation. And if we have a stoppage in play coming up, we'll let you know. But right now, the only lightning so far has been struck by Assumption, as Ruby Stevens has the game's lone goal, and it was roughly 7 minutes into this match. As the first half through the midway point, as Denver will go with the throw. Here's Shepard. It will stay with Denver as they move it up the field one way or the other. Now an errant pass will give it back to Assumption there on that far sideline. Well, Coach Moss, been a part of 8 state championships in her tenure at Assumption. One as a player, many as a head coach. And they went 5-3-1 this season in the Mississippi Athletic Conference. Their losses to Bettendorf, Muscatine, and to North Scott. So they play up and out. How about the defensive play by Denver as Alexis Milder had it for a moment, but quickly you can see that experience, the composure by Assumption. How about Gerke? Again, going through traffic here. Kara Gerke will leave it for the freshman. Now Gerke trying to let traffic slip by. And Denver again will hold. Here's Harbert. Good play by the Cyclones and Ricketts. Milder. Now Stevens. And Dorsey said, I've had enough. As she tries to come in and power on the ball, but won by Harbert. That's a good matchup right there between Harbert and Dorsey.
Did a great job shielding that ball from her.
Opening moments of the game, Assumption, if you're joining us late, was able to get the ball deep. And they struck for a goal. Now have sag back. Denver getting their offense in motion. They've had 2 shots on goal. They've come up empty. As the throw will be put in play for the Denver Cyclones. Again, you're watching the Class 1A State Championship here on Iowa PBS, and coming out from net is Murch. As the keeper will come up and haul in that ball. So here's Denver. Again, wearing the maroon uniforms with yellow numbers, Assumption in white with black numbers trimmed in red. And a steal over on the far side. Again, defensively, Assumption has had their fill today. Caitlin O'Brien cleared that one. Back to Molahan. Right at midfield, shoots it to the outside. Going to be a tough play on the ball, and we will have a foul here as Anna Wyman collided with Kara Gerke. It'll be a free kick here coming up for Denver.
Yeah, just got her on the leg.
You think about yellow cards accumulated throughout the season. Denver has 4. Assumption, physical style of play, they have 5. This one going to be sent towards net, and O'Neill easily makes the play with no traffic in front. And we still remain 1-0. So on the free kick just a moment ago was Addison Shepard for Denver, as again, Assumption with an opportunity here. This is where they've been good. You just have to be good or great when you get these chances, and that's what Assumption has been in this game. They're able to get the ball deep. Stevens will get it into Dorsey, who's quickly smothered up on, and it'll be a corner kick here coming up for Davenport Assumption.
Great opportunity for them to put another one in the net here.
So over in the far corner, Anna Wyman will get the chance here for Assumption. Trying to add to their lead here. We're marked ready for play with the right foot. And that hit the official, as winding up on that was Toll. This shot just sails over the net high. How about that? Toll wound up, hit the official, got it back, and then on the second chance, a little bit too much.
Just over the top of the crossbar. That was a great shot.
Too much room there, Coach.
A lot of space. Denver didn't get right on her. She shouldn't have been able to take a shot right there.
We have a substitution. Anna Moeller back into the contest here for Denver.
Trying to slide that through the defenders.
And taking a hard tumble on that far sideline. And getting back up and okay is Kenzie Snyder. Off of the throw. Again, Denver playing back 3 deep as they run the 4-3-3. We've seen evidence where that's helped them. But you have to be crisp against Assumption, who runs that 4-4-2. And the back 2 defenders with O'Brien and John have been good so far. Solid. Toll leaves it ahead. They tried to find Dorsey on the outside. That was a terrific play for many reasons by Gerke. Now Toll. Assumption. And leaving to the middle, and here comes the freshman keeper in Murch. What a job she's done. Of course, last year they had Torsia Schrader, who's now playing at Iowa Central. And the keeper, Murch, is, according to head coach Kriesbach, has played awesome all season long, including the state tournaments. How about 6 saves in the semifinals, in which they were able to beat Hudson 2-1 in overtime. And he says a lot of times she makes mistakes, she'll come back and just forget about it and just play much better or stronger throughout a contest. And now has to hold it here. As we have a little roughing foul called, as Denver will get it back.
A little bit of a shoulder there.
And a little bit slow to get up was Mackenzie McEwen. She took the shoulder. And the foul called against Gabby Stoffregen. So the first half winding down. Gilbert head coach Heather Kearns. This is BJ Shaban here on Iowa PBS, as this is the 1A state championship here from Ames at the Cyclone Sports Complex. An Assumption scored in the game's first 7 minutes. And that's been the difference in this one, as Drew Dorsey was able to connect with Ruby Stevens for the game's lone goal. Couple of opportunities for the Cyclones here so far. As Shepard gets bodied, Cyclones able to control it here. The Denver Cyclones here at the Cyclone Sports Complex. It's been a fun week. Now, this is the first time these two teams have played here. The quarterfinals and the semifinals were played at the Lead Recreation Facilities. Here's Shepard, the opportunity. How about O'Neill coming up and saying no?
Oh.
And now the high kick. And that goes over the top of the bar. Wow, Alyssa O'Neill, her first year in net. And she is standing on her head here in the first half as she has been challenged.
That was an excellent save. She took a risk coming out, but she knew that she was going to have to, because there was no defender to take her on.
And she has been solid all the way throughout. Again, they've given up a goal. In the last month, that's it for Davenport Assumption. Beginning of the year, a little shaky defensively, but they have really honed it in, have the Knights. Stevens will get the throw here, as Assumption will try, thought about going quick. And she'll lob it in the air for Dorsey, who's been marked so far here in the first half. 2 Cyclones have been following her throughout. And the Cyclones trying to clear it, as the Assumption Knights had it deep inside of the zone. Here's Ella Kuro, who just checked into the game. And that'll be a misfire on the pass, so it'll be a goal kick here coming up for the Denver Cyclones. Appropriately named to be playing on this field, right?
That's true. The home of the Iowa State Cyclones women's team.
We've recruited the state of Iowa very well. All Iowa schools have. Down along the near sideline, that'll be scooted out by Menke, as they'll live for another play here. Will the Assumption Knights defensively? Akers with the throw. Boot towards the middle. Each team looking to gain possession here. Shepard couldn't corral it. Now Dorsey looking to go to work for Assumption. The lob ahead, trying to find her teammate Stevens. It's a foot race to the ball and will be kicked out by Denver as they stem the tide with Maya Rosecrans. That's where you see the experience of Rosecrans, a 4-year starter. Slid to center back last season and has performed well for Denver.
She does a good job of kind of directing that back line. You can hear her out there on the field, see her encouraging her teammates.
Have about 6 minutes to play here in the first half. What has Assumption corrected, or is it what Assumption's done defensively that has slowed the tide down a little bit and actually have a little momentum going back on their side?
I think one of the things that Assumption has done really well is they've gotten to all the balls, the 50-50 balls. When Denver clears it out, because they need to sometimes, I see that Assumption is getting to the ball, way more times than Denver is. So for Assumption, keep that up. For Denver, I would say that's something to work on for the second half.
There's one of your examples, a 50-50 ball, but a foul will be called.
I think she called a handball.
A handball, excuse me. I beg your pardon. Cameron Mankey was the one that touched it for Assumption. So off of the free kick, they'll look to run it to Akers along the near sideline here. Akers will center it. Nobody home, and we'll see a throw here coming up. First half winding down. Battle for the ball. It'll be won by Assumption. Denver trying to stretch it out here to Shepard. Can she get it before the end line? Yes, but just not enough as she tried to push it back in. And will be a goal kick here coming up for the Assumption Knights. Again, the first half winding down here. Seen a bevy of activity on both keepers have been challenged. Cyclones want to put a little bit more pressure on the Knights here. And that'll be out. Toll just could not hold that one in. Trying to go quick to Shepard. Denver will hold the possession here and the throw with Akers. She tries to find Gerke, and it's turned over. Terrific defense down that sideline by Amelia Yates. Well, this has been, I mean, even it's 1-0, but it's been an exciting first half as each team has had their opportunities, well balanced. And these are the closing moments that we've seen in past history where Assumption has been able to get a late half goal. But Denver trying to do the same here. As it'll be a goal kick here coming up for Assumption.
Denver just seems to be a little bit more organized here after that first goal. Maybe the nerves shook out a little bit.
And you'll have that, right?
Oh, for sure. Biggest stage for these girls being in the championship game for their class.
Now, both teams spent all week here in Ames. Not traveling back and forth in between contests, even though they had a day of rest.
That's nice to have an opportunity to rest. I like how they do that, where they have games and then a day of rest, games and a day of rest. You know, there's something to be said for sleeping in your own bed, but I'm sure they had a lot of team camaraderie being here together all week long. Nobody looks tired, so I think it was a good decision on their part.
Everybody's fresh. Assumption will have it here on a throw with nearing 90 seconds to play here in the first half. The Assumption Knights a 1-0 lead. And Assumption will hold it here on the throw. Miranda Thurm has played very strong here after seeing her defense give up that game's first goal. And she's trying to get tied up with Stevens, and Denver will get the possession. They're going to try to hurry it here. This one stayed in. Terrific ball. Opportunity for Assumption. Here's Dorsey trying to work it, but again, Bailey Molahan is there, along with Snyder. Now to Toll. And a collision. Toll will be called for the foul.
Denver's going to have to move quickly.
They have about 30 seconds left. One more opportunity here in the opening half. It'll be staying in play with Gerke. In Denver with 15 seconds to go. Assumption just trying to get it out into open space with the ball, and that looks to be the end of the first half here. Pending one more blast, and that'll be it, as Assumption will sit on the ball. But what a first half.
Wow, that was fun to watch.
1-0. Assumption with the lead on a goal from Ruby Stevens, as Assumption through the first 40 minutes has a 1-0 lead over the Denver Cyclones. We've got more when we return, as we're at intermission, as you're watching the Class 1A State Championship here on Iowa PBS.
Coming up on the next episode of Iowa Life, we'll learn how young people in the deaf and hard of hearing community share their love of baseball.
Even though you do have this impairment, that it doesn't have to stop you.
We'll take a peek under the surface of a high school synchronized swimming club. And we'll meet a Des Moines handyman who shares his love of mini bikes. All that and more on the next Iowa Life.
Tuesdays at 6:30 and Sundays at 10:30.
Such a meaningful part of Iowa PBS is the coverage of unique Iowa events. And part of that is our high schools and our kids programs, whether it's athletics or otherwise. The state fair coverage, that's such a part of the fabric of Iowa. And I think just the programming that covers things meaningful to our people in our state.
To learn more about becoming a corporate sponsor on Iowa PBS, call or visit us online.
Oh, what a sight. The Camp O'Neill here on campus at Iowa State University. 1-0 Davenport Assumption with the lead. It's a new site for the Girls State Soccer Championships, moving from County Park, who did an amazing job hosting the state soccer tournaments. Prior to that, Muscatine. Now it moves to Ames. And our first state championship underway in Class 1A, Davenport Assumption with a 1-0 lead, as Ruby Stevens got a pass from Drew Dorsey 7 minutes into the contest, and they capitalized on it as they try to go for their 12th state championship. Well, even soccer fans can't deny that baseball holds a special place in the hearts of many Americans. For some of us, it's just a spectator sport, but for others, it's much more. Please enjoy this feature from our Iowa PBS program, Iowa Life, about how young people in Iowa's deaf and hard of hearing community share their love for our national pastime.
First base, second base, shortstop, third base, left field. Raise your hand.
We're here today at the Iowa Baseball Camp for the Deaf. We're here all week. We have the camp every morning for children who are deaf and hard of hearing, age 7 to 14, from all over the Midwest. It's an opportunity for them to not only play baseball, but socialize. It's a fully inclusive environment for deaf and hard of hearing kids.
Nice job, nice speed. Looking good, looking good. We're looking good, guys. The first thing we're gonna work on is our catching and our throwing, okay? So my first rule is going to be, there is absolutely no throwing the ball unless the person you're throwing to is making eye contact with you.
When I was little, I was involved with a baseball camp for the deaf. The camp was smaller, but it was so much fun. I have such fond memories of the time. There were other deaf kids there. I could identify with all of them, other individuals that signed. It was so exciting to be with people like me. It was a part of who I am today. I don't have to experience any of those barriers. It's just nice to be outside, be my true self.
After he graduated high school and went on to college, the camp kind of died out, and when he came back, he revitalized it.
He came to me and he just said, you know, Mom, he goes, I think I would really like to try and do the baseball camp again. And he goes, I am deaf. I know, you know, with deaf culture, that this is really needed. Dylan organized with the interpreters, through the Des Moines Public Schools and interpreters in the community. We got the coaches back, we got the volunteers out there. So yeah, we rebooted it in 2015.
The new camp is a lot larger, a lot more volunteers. It's been great having so many interpreters now and so much help.
There we go, there we go. Bend those knees now, bend those knees, get down, there you go.
I have interpreted for a number of these kids or known them just being in the same district as them. I volunteered for one day to come down. And then a friend of mine who's also an interpreter and I went to the Iowa Cubs game with the camp, and she saw me explaining baseball stuff to the deaf kids, and she saw Dylan running around doing all of his baseball stuff with the kids, and sort of thought to herself, and ever since then, I have been interpreting at camp every single day. It really is a family affair. We're all here all week, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
Catching a couple fly balls.
We have a range of hard of hearing to deaf kids, so not even all the kids sign, but we have volunteers and interpreters and coaches that know how to work with that whole range.
Done, well done, here we go.
Some of them have never thrown a baseball or never swung a bat before.
Here's a player.
Their eye-hand coordination is amazing. Because they're paying attention, they learn very fast. These kids have phenomenal attention spans.
My favorite part about baseball camp is that I get to meet other people with my same symptoms, and I get to meet a lot of new friends. I'm not the only one that has hearing aids. It does really make me feel more included.
I really like the community here because it kind of just shows you that you're not alone, and that even though you do have this impairment, that it doesn't have to stop you. It doesn't have to be a big thing unless you make it a big thing.
We get to play baseball, and we get to sign up, and we get to meet a lot of new friends. I go to public school. I don't go to, deaf school. So I just hang out with my regular friends. But here it feels like, deaf school, and it's fun.
Growing up, they're often isolated in mainstream schools or even within their own family because they aren't able to communicate. And so they don't have a sense of who they are. When they come to camp and they see, wow, there are a lot of other deaf peers here, and it helps them find out who they are to identify with these other kids. Some of them use their voice, some don't sign too much, but they're meeting other kids that do, and they're just sort of immersed in the deaf community here, and they become, proud of who they are, proud of being deaf, proud of deaf culture.
You can see the kids, they kind of start buddying up after the first and second day, and they're making new friends. They're kind of timid and shy at first maybe, but then it's like, oh wow, everybody's like us. And it's just heartwarming to see the friendships that are made.
Also representing the Iowa baseball camp for the deaf, please welcome Skyler.
It's a huge deal for the deaf community because the deaf community is going to be celebrated at the game. The Iowa Cubs team are going to be wearing special jerseys honoring this celebration of the deaf community.
They've always gone to an iCubs game during the week of camp, but this is the first year that the iCubs have really expanded that to be Deaf Culture Night.
And people from all over the state of Iowa who attend will have some exposure to the deaf community and to support the Cubs as well. Camp is everything to me, and more, and hopefully it is for these young people as well.
We'll join Iowa Life host Charity Nebbe for more compelling stories that shine a spotlight on the exceptional lives of the people who call Iowa home. Tuesday nights at 6:30 here on Iowa PBS and anytime online at iowapbs.org/Iowa Life. Well, the score here at the half in the girls Class 1A high school soccer championship is Davenport Assumption leading it 1-0 over Denver. And joined by Gilbert head coach Heather Kearns, this is BJ Shaven. And in that first half, Coach, Assumption struck early. Their defense then took hold.
They did take hold. There was not much getting past that back line. Denver had some opportunities to score there, but wasn't able to capitalize on that. Maybe in the second half, they seemed to get kind of back going, organized together and connecting passes. So we'll see what happens.
We'll see the highlights here in the first half, as here's Drew Dorsey going to the University of Cincinnati, able to connect on the one-timer pass to Stevens, and that's her game's lone goal. And Assumption knew that was big for a lot of reasons because their defense then could take hold. Denver, though, gave it some gallant effort, a couple of shots on goal. Here's another look at it from the end zone, the opposite side, and Stevens able to connect on that one-timer. And that is our game's lone goal. Huge contingent of fans. Let's just point that out here for both Denver and Davenport Assumption for the state championship. They've had a long way to go. Of course, Denver about an hour and a half and some change away from Ames, and Davenport Assumption over on the east coast of the state as they had to make their way here to Central Iowa for this matchup. So we're about ready to go, keeping an eye on the radar too as well. There's rain in the area. Hopefully it's no lightning. We can continue on with rain as the players are set. The second half about ready to get underway, as Denver will start with the balls. We are marked ready for play. Again, the Cyclones 21-0-1 on the year, as they are back into competition. Their only tie was to Nevada 2-2, and that was at the end of the regular season. Of course, Assumption in the opening round game against Nevada defeated the Cubs, last year's state champs, 5-1. Assumption then winners against Heelan 1-0. And for Denver, advancing here to the championship 5-3 over Underwood, as Denver tried to slither their way through that defense. But Assumption, again, very, very strong defensively as they hold. And now try to turn it back over as they go down the field. Again, rather patiently and methodically. And that's a mark of a very senior-led team. Now they get it deep inside of Yates, who will fire it towards goal. Here's Dorsey, denied, as that one is headed back out. What a stop by Murch.
That's a lot of composure there by a freshman.
Dorsey, you don't stop her that many times. As on the season coming into this one, had 36 goals, 85 points, and a great lead pass here from Yates, but Dorsey denied by the freshman keeper and Adina Murch.
That's what Assumption does. They come out strong right away in the second half, and they did that here again today.
You better be ready to play, Assumption. Centering pass to the middle for Denver goes awry. Good battle for the ball, as Dorsey staying after it, going to be called for the foul as she was bodied up on Elena Akers.
It's been a pretty clean game here so far.
And a free kick here coming up for Denver. Again, just a beautiful setting here on the campus of Iowa State University as the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union State Soccer Championships underway. We've got the 3A title game coming up midway through the afternoon here on Iowa PBS. And then the nightcap. Death, Taxes, Dallas Center Grimes, Waverly Shell Rock in the final. They've been there before many, many times, and they'll do it again here tonight, as Denver will have a deep throw here coming up, as that was played out by Jondal. On the throw, it'll be Mackenzie McEwen. Mackenzie will center it towards the middle. Nobody home and unable to track that one down. They wanted to stay onside, did Denver. But again, Denver going to take their shots here, Coach.
It's a tall task for Denver. Davenport Assumption's let up 1 goal in the last month. So they're really going to have to be kind of creative in there and catch them off guard.
Again, here come the Cyclones. as we are starting to see some rain fall on the field. Again, just excellent conditions, can hold lots of water. As is very well aware from the state of Iowa, you know that Iowa State University knows its turf.
That's for sure. Most soccer players I know like playing in the rain, so I don't think we'll see any slowdown from any of them out here today.
They're going to try to find Ruby Stevens deep. That'll be punched out by the Denver Cyclones and Rosecrans. And it's been an interesting mix today between Stevens. As you see the ponchos being whipped out, umbrellas are coming out.
Yes, it's going to be nice and dry in here.
That's where we're at in this beautiful press box here at the Cyclone Sports Complex. Denver trying to nullify the tide there as offensively Assumption punched it in deep.
Assumption's pushing up really high right now.
They have just one back past midfield. Otherwise, everybody is up. They want to get an insurance goal here as Yates tries to go to the outside, and Wyman just could not find it. But they're going to say last touch by Denver. And so Wyman with the toss.
Denver's got a lot of players packed in the box right now.
Wyman to Dorsey and caught by Murch.
Wow.
A lot of composure by Adina Murch. Again, gave up the goal early, but is here in the second half especially has been challenged by the venerable Dorsey, and we got a foul here called on Dorsey. She would like to see a replay of that foul and maybe try to get it reversed. We don't have that, but Denver will have it back here. Again, the rain is starting to fall here in Ames. As we're at top at midfield, Denver wearing the Marina uniforms with yellow. And Assumption wearing their white uniforms, black numbers, trimmed in red. Good move on the inside by Gerke, the centering pass.
Great cross.
Left home, a collision, and this is going to be a foul called on the Denver Cyclones. Boy, very physical play. And just trying to go for the ball that time was Mullard, and she got tied up with Davenport Assumption's Maddie Toll.
Do like you're working very hard to try to win that ball, but
Denver will try to punch it ahead here to Shepard. It's a foot race to the ball. Shepard will center it. Nobody home. Now up at the top. Just missed the opportunity up at the top. And again, Assumption will kick it back out. While very close, Alyssa Harberts just overran the ball there, but would have had a chance to give it a punch.
She'll be kicking herself on that later.
See, even Coach Derek Kriesbach putting on the coat. Now McEwen. Redirected back towards midfield. Snyder in traffic to Harberts. Snyder with the deep shot. And that's going to be batted down by Alyssa O'Neill. O'Neill 9 saves in the quarters, 9 saves in the semifinals. She's been challenged at time here today, but has held her position. 3 saves so far.
Again, just so impressive that she did not play goalkeeper before this year.
Her first season, transferred in from Bettendorf. Was a field player, 3-year starter for the Bulldogs. And now she sees her team on offense here with Yates, trying to find Stevens. That must played off the foot. It's going to be a foot race to the ball. Akers will just punch it out. Dorsey over on that far sideline was in the neighborhood. And she's had a couple of shots on goal, but hasn't been able to figure out the freshman just yet. Toll will do the throw. Again, the rain is coming down. You can hear it now towards the middle. The centering pass goes awry. Here's Dorsey, the big kick. It gets into the net. Are you kidding me?
Wow.
A swipe kick at the top. And Drew Dorsey puts her team up 2-0.
Incredible shot on her part. Just got right around that defender and just... Oh, yeah.
That one had some ole on it with a little curveball coming in from the top by Dorsey. And you could see the keeper, Merch, thought it was going to be wide.
Yep.
That thing had a little top spin on it and came right back into the net. A very impressive goal. Her 37th on the season for Drew Dorsey.
She was even off balance when she took that shot. That was great.
Now Denver, the challenge that much greater.
A lot of game left.
Over 30 minutes left to play here in the 1A state championship. Again, the table stakes. Assumption going for their school's 12th state title. They have the most already in the state with 11. And Denver trying to get their very first state championship in soccer. They've had a lot of success in other sports. Now trying to bring it home in soccer. We're here a year ago and lost in Nevada 2-0. This one deep. As the keeper came up, almost the opportunity. Now as they try to reset the ball towards the middle, Assumption wisely just puts it downfield with Stombaugh. Up to the top with Reagan. She'll track it down for Assumption. Assumption had won 5 state titles in a row. Now here's Dorsey, left deep. Merch will step in front of it and punch it down. Oh, that would have been a big one.
Great job by Merch. Keeping composed.
You think about that run when they had won 5 in a row. Rose Ripslinger, who went on to play at the University of Iowa. Of course, just a tremendous talent. They've had loads of talent going through the Assumption system. And Dorsey among the best as well.
They are just historically really good for them to not be back the last 3 years. I think that's what you said.
Yeah.
That's surprising, but they really are a good, solid team. It's fun to watch them play.
In fact, with our conversation with the head coach Elizabeth Moss, we said hello again. And she goes, yeah, it's been 3 years. She mentioned that right away, right off the bat. It's been 3 years since we've talked.
I'm sure she hasn't forgotten. She's got it on her calendar.
This is going to go to Assumption here. Last touch by Denver. With Gilbert head coach Heather Kearns, I'm BJ Shaven here on Iowa PBS. We're in Ames for the Class 1A Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union State Soccer Championships. Assumption striking with a couple of goals 7 minutes into the game. Ruby Stevens scored from a Drew Dorsey pass, and then Dorsey just scored moments ago with the insurance goal to go up 2-0.
And Dorsey's just not letting up. You would think with 2 goals on the board that she would maybe give herself a little rest, but she's not. She's still right in there in the mix.
Dorsey will keep it in. Again, as we play on the near side of the field, they'll send it in. See what can happen. And Assumption will still maintain the possession here. So this will be Anna Wyman with the throw.
Denver's just really trying to get the ball out of their defensive half right now. I'm hoping to see them kind of control the ball. They could move it up the field.
Off to the middle. As, again, Assumption with the lead. Again, rain falling here in Ames. Again, no lightning in the area, so we'll play on as keeper will let that one go wide right. It'll be a goal kick here coming up for the Denver Cyclones and Adina Murch. As Toll gave it a ride for the Assumption Knights. Boy, Davenport Assumption putting on a lot of pressure. Certainly here in the second half. Coach, have they made any adjustments to what they were doing in the first half to put that pressure on? Or is it just a higher level of play?
The thing that I noticed the most was at the beginning of the half, before they got that second goal, we were pushing, Assumption was pushing a lot of their team up. Once they got that second goal, I don't think they changed their formation, but it looked like they kind of sunk back a little bit, probably to defend the goal a little bit stronger.
And both teams not really deep, and that's benefited them well. They've only really sent 2 or 3 players in off the bench. As you see, Dorsey here will go to the outside. Again, cool conditions throughout the week, which has benefited a lot of play. And this is going to stay with Assumption with a deep throw here, as it'll be coming off the hands of Anna Wyman. And just a misplay, and it'll be a corner kick here coming up for Assumption. Boy, Miranda Thurm just could not get square with the ball. And watch Assumption load the box as they really try to extend this match out. Wyman centering to the middle. Dorsey headed it back out. Goal kick here for Denver. And we'll see our first substitutions of the second half. We mentioned that Denver maybe goes about 3 deep. They'll send all 3 in. Alexis Milder will be in. Elise Ricketts and Hazel Kolsrud here in the second half. As checking out will be Mackenzie McEwen along with Kira Gerke.
I'd say for the Denver defense, just to kind of get reorganized together, we've done a lot of just kind of clearing the ball out with not a good plan of where it's going to go.
And what adjustments does Denver, and can they do it on the fly? Because you can't get 2 goals with 1 shot.
No, exactly. You got to just chip away at it. Still 24 minutes left in the game. Soccer can turn just in an instant. We've seen that in our own games. You've seen it, I'm sure, time and time again. But nothing's out of reach at this point.
This will turn into a goal kick here for the Denver Cyclones. A 2-0 lead here for Assumption. Coach Kriesbach seen only this once this season where they've been down by multiple goals. It was against Nevada. They ended up tying that match. And during the regular season now in Iowa high school soccer, it's just a tie. There's no overtime during the regular season. There is here in the postseason. We've seen at the state tournament throughout various classes, penalty kicks, deciding who's going to advance or not.
That's such a hard way to win and lose a game. I know it's necessary, but it's better when they can just play it out.
Had it a couple of years ago in the 3A title match. Here's Dorsey trying to find space. Beats everyone now from the sideline. The kick up. And just to the outside, Toll with the punch. Teammate Stevens got in the way of it. And now Toll will put it back out. Stoffregen, her shot.
Another corner kick.
Yeah, goes wide, but off of a Denver defender. Boy, just swarming right to the ball was the Assumption Knights.
Kind of the communication right there between those 2 Assumption players.
And from the far side, Cameron Menke will do the chores with the corner. With her left foot. Goes to the middle, but Assumption able to space it out. out of Denver. And again, Assumption with 3 back as they kept their formation at 4-4-2, but defensively they're going to try to step their back a little bit with that 2-goal lead. We've seen this before. As we'll go with Elena Akers with the throw. And again, the substitution quickly coming back into the game is going to be Mackenzie McEwen, as she will be back in for Hazel Colesrud, the freshman. Back down the field, Dorsey trying to plead her case. And it will be a goal kick here coming up for the Denver Cyclones. Veteran officiating crew here today, as they're done a terrific job here. Kept it clean so far here in the 1A championship. Both teams known for their physical nature, but everybody's staying upright throughout most of this.
Yeah, very clean game so far today. I like the aggressiveness, but nobody's going after too hard.
So a goal kick here coming up for the Assumption Knights, who lead it 2-0. In fact, the Knights last winning the state championship would have to go back to 2021, in which they beat Des Moines Christian 2-0. In 22, they played in the title match, but ended up losing that. And that was to Des Moines Christian, who gained a vengeance, if you will, from losing to him the previous year.
Des Moines Christian's another solid team. They made it down here this year too.
And Des Moines Christian, you think about they fell in the opening round to Hudson, as Hudson really came on late in the season, finishing with that 18-2 mark, and then falling to these Denver Cyclones in overtime in the semifinals.
Yeah, that was a good game.
Out to the outside, here's Wyman. And it will be a throw for Assumption. Possession will stay with the Knights. Well, we've got more exciting Iowa high school soccer coming your way with the state championships here at the Girls State Soccer Tournament. Class 3A will begin at around 2:30 as Waukee Northwest will take on Linn-Mar. That's the top seed against the 7th-seeded Linn-Mar Lions, who are just an upstart and have really wreaked havoc on the bracket so far this year.
Oh.
And a corner kick will be coming up here for Assumption. And then the nightcap tonight at 5:30, Waverly Shellrock, the top seed, taking on 2nd-seeded Dallas Center Grimes, as the Girls State Soccer Championships here from Ames on Iowa PBS. So again, from the far side, this is Cameron Menke. Pass to the top, going to be knocked away or nullified by Harvards, but it will still stay with Davenport Assumption. Drew Dorsey getting a goal here in the second half with that shark mentality.
She does have that shark mentality.
She gets close to the net. Look out. With the possession, she can strike, has an assist and a goal.
I don't know if Denver, it looks to be their man marking her, doing their best to make sure she doesn't get the ball again.
Out into open space. Stop Reagan now to the top as that shot went wide for Assumption, as they gave it a whirl there. As the Knights have Elizabeth Coolrow on that attempt.
And there to Addison Shepard.
What has Assumption done defensively to Denver, though? Because Denver has not had any opportunity here in the second half, as this one will be scooped up by Murch.
Yeah, just, I don't know. I mean, Assumption has definitely played very well. Again, throughout the whole game, they've gotten to the ball first. It just looks like they're not playing with their heads down, Denver, but it just seems like they're not being as effective with connecting their passes and moving the ball up the field. You know, here in the box, I can't really hear the communication, but we know how important that is to the success of your team. So, and there again, Cameron Menke just not letting anything get past the Assumption back line.
Stoffregen able to stem the tide, if you will, for the Denver Cyclones. Just haven't had many opportunities in the second half. Here's the freshman. Shepard trying to work with it in midfield. To her teammate Snyder. Snyder tried to put a blast together. Nothing there. Molahan gets the ball through into open space. But again, just cannot gain footing. Was it deflected away? No. It will be a goal kick here coming up for Assumption.
Yeah, I love her effort, but again, where that communication might have helped out.
Some fresh legs coming into the contest. Ruby Stevens will check out. And coming in is going to be the sophomore Izzy Motto. Well, before the game, Coach Elizabeth Moss told us from Assumption her team is rested and rejuvenated, having made the Saturday, she calls big time Saturday, as they are back into the state championship for the first time since 2022. Now, Denver with the opportunity, but again, quickly stripped away. And how about the fight put out there by Kaiten O'Brien?
For sure. I'm sure Coach Moss knows exactly, she's been here enough times, she knows exactly what to do to have her team be ready. And they look at that today.
Under 15 minutes to play in the 1A title match. We've seen crazy comebacks before. As that will be punched out, it's going to stay with Denver.
All right, maybe Denver can do something here with this opportunity.
Good fight on the ball by Kenzie Snyder. Of course, Hawkeye Community College will be taking 3 of these Denver players next year. Snyder, one of them, along with Harberts. And also part of that will be Kiara Gerke. So the 3 captains for Denver headed to Hawkeye Community College. Here's Drew Dorsey. Look at the speed.
She's fast.
Again, the shark on the ball here for Assumption. Now the shot, it's deep, but just goes wide left and misplayed off of the hands. They're going to say no. Mertz did not touch it, so it'll be a goal kick. Dorsey thought that it connected. How about you be the judge at home here? Was there a touch?
I don't know.
In volleyball, we might see the fingers up in the air, clasping around. Here comes Assumption again. Stoffregen. Her shot from deep goes up. Great. And too much on it. A goal kick here for Denver.
Again, the pressure from Assumption. Not satisfied with just the 2.
The Knights have been the aggressor here, especially in the second half with that 1-goal lead coming out of intermission. They've really cranked it up. It'll be a throw here from the near sideline for the Denver Cyclones. Or no, I beg your pardon. Assumption will have it.
We got a sub.
We will have a substitution coming into the game. Re-entering for Denver. Anna Mollert will be back in. And she briefly got a rest. And a collision. Assumption will have the free kick here coming up as the foul was called on Denver. Let's take a look.
Just kind of sandwiched her.
Foul called on Miranda Thurm. So free kick. As Toll will set the ball. Yeah, gonna make sure that spot is dry, no slippage.
Right.
So the rain is falling here in Ames. Here's Toll's attempt towards the net. Just could not connect with Dorsey, who was on a fast break, and she's pointing to herself, my bad, may have gotten a late jump on that ball.
It's always tricky because you don't want to get called offsides. Great header.
Denver trying to circle around the ball. But again, the defense right there for Assumption as it's put out by Caitlin O'Brien, who's been very strong here in this championship match. Denver trying to stretch it out, but again, Assumption, a lot of white jerseys right there in the way.
Mm-hmm. Again, getting to the ball first is super important.
Assumption will gain control of the ball. Dorsey making a bid to be not only a part of the all-tournament team, but all-tournament team captain. Will be a part of the awards handed out at the conclusion of this one. And Coach Kearns, you're a part of that committee. Tough choices to make in the 1A field.
There are a lot of tough choices. You know, it's really nice to be able to recognize the girls for such hard work that they've put in through the season, but especially here on this stage. It's been really fun to watch a lot of great soccer.
We're watching the Girls State Soccer Championships here on Iowa PBS, here from the Cyclone Sports Complex in Ames with Gilbert head coach Heather Kearns, BJ Shaban along with you. And look out, Drew Dorsey from the outside with her left foot.
Wow.
Just put it above the bar. And it will be a goal kick here for Denver again. Another attempt by Dorsey and company.
I appreciate that Assumption is just continuing to play really good soccer. A lot of teams in a championship game up 2-0 might just really pack it in the box and just try to hold, but Assumption's not doing that.
They're playing with house money down the stretch, no question, as Gerke will track down the ball for Denver. But Assumption has done a terrific job of getting in the lanes. Toll will steal it and push it forward. Stoffregen in traffic. Tries to put together a blast. Again, just holding strong right at the midfield is Assumption. That's where this game has been won or lost, with the play right at midfield. Would you agree, Coach?
I would agree for sure. I mean, they just have been really possessing the ball really well.
Look out, here's Dorsey. Left foot.
Oh,
denied by Murch.
Good job by Murch there.
Under 9 minutes to play, a 2-goal lead here for Assumption. Denver got to be thinking, we got to go. Might we see somebody jump up in the line for the Cyclones?
They could be pushing somebody up for sure.
They've got to maintain the possession, though. As that one goes out, it will be a throw from the far sideline. That'll be on the throw.
They've just gotten in a little bit of a rut. Even when they have time to receive the ball and make a decision about it, they just have been really trying to clear it.
Maddie Toll will do the chores of throwing it in. Assumption going to their bench as Maddie Martinez, the junior, will check in. And also Denver will go back to their bench. Coming in is going to be Bailey Molahan. Because of the conditions, the weather has been outstanding all week, and especially here in the championship match. We've got temperatures in the lower 70s, rain falling right now. But unlike previous years in dealing with the heat and the consecutive play, the bench hasn't really been a factor in this one, as that will be punched out by Denver.
Yeah, good fight off the ball.
Changes your game plan, though, considerably, doesn't it, when you have favorable weather?
Oh, it's been tremendous. I mean, normally you're playing state tournament games like you're on the face of the sun. I mean, so hot. But this is really great. It's more, I guess, kind of like what the regular season is like.
Cool.
Cooler, very cold at sometimes, snow. Players are really used to playing in the rain. It's just part of spring weather here in Iowa.
Under 7 to play. Again, Denver trying to figure out where that go button is.
Wow. Assumption getting to the ball again.
As they go to work here at the top. Stoffregen gives way to Dorsey. She's got space. Dorsey to the outside to Toll. Again, Yates trying to cut. And that pass, a little errant as she was trying to connect with Izzy Motto. And now back to the bench for Davenport Assumption. As Coach Moss trying to rotate players in and out, Kathleen Yates will check in for the first time.
6 minutes to go.
Fresh legs to the finish a little bit for Assumption. Here's Dorsey at the top, just couldn't pick it up off the bounce. And she'll scoot that one way past net. In fact, it might have ended up on Lincoln Way.
It sure might. Yeah, I'm not seeing that.
Now as the Cyclones try to stretch it ahead. Snyder trying to battle through traffic. Kenzie Snyder has her pocket picked that time by Assumption.
Ball's still down here.
Nearing the 5-minute mark to play.
Oh.
Denver, again from the outside, trying to center that pass, but just over the head of McEwen, who will have to track it down. 2 defenders on her. McEwen trying to bounce it off of a defender, but it will be a goal kick here coming up for Assumption. Again, really the deepest penetration probably in the last 12 minutes for the Cyclones. That's how dominant Davenport Assumption has been. Again, for the Knights, last time they won a state championship was in 2021.
Did you say that was versus Des Moines Christian?
Des Moines Christian, and then the following year, the two would meet up again in 22, and Des Moines Christian would upend. But it's been a while since Assumption's, a short minute or two that they've been in the state championship, 3 years to speak, and the Knights trying to make the most of it here.
So many good pieces on their team.
Trying to go for that pink shirt.
The elusive pink shirt.
Right, and Assumption will come back into the game with Anna Wyman. She's played huge here, as getting a few minutes was Maddie Martinez, who will check out. In fact, that you mentioned the elusive pink shirt. It was a few years ago when Davenport Assumption, going for their 5th state title in a row, as part of their 11 so far, now trying to make it 12 today. Assumption actually wore pink shirts during the warm-ups to intimidate the opposing team because they had everybody back from the previous year, and it worked.
Wow. Well, if we ever get a pink shirt, it's coming up, I'm sure. We'll try that also.
Pretty interesting. I'm surprised we haven't seen more teams do that, especially when they try to go back-to-back.
I've seen the pink ribbons in the hair and the pink captain bands, but not the pink shirt warm-up shirts.
And we have a whistle here, as we'll have to redo it again on the throw for Denver.
Great throw.
Right to the middle. Harberts, McEwen in traffic. Dorsey says no.
Wow.
She just muscled her way through traffic there to get that ball, folks. And trying to go back on the attack here with Wyman.
She's doing all she can for her team on the offensive and defensive end of the field.
Trying to preserve this victory. And a state title for Assumption. Well, they have certainly built a program that you have to simply admire in Davenport Assumption. Is this going to be a corner coming up? I believe it is, but slow to get up is going to be Anna Wyman for Davenport Assumption. And as we have some substitutes coming into the game, Sadie Nolan will be checking in. There she is. Senior getting an opportunity, going to be playing in her 5th game this season. And what an opportunity here in the 1A state championship. This clock is stopped at 2:12. As Wyman was slow to get up, we'll see a corner kick here coming up. And it will be coming from Anna Wyman. And the rain falling here in Ames. Wyman tries to center it. Denver going to try to lead it ahead, but there is Assumption.
Every time.
Cyclones trying to will it ahead.
Minky there to clear it out again.
So Assumption will have it on a throw. Again, 1:40 now to play. As Assumption sensing another championship. It'll be their 12th in the school's history. That is hauled in. Back to Assumption. Over the years have been successful in the state title match, only losing a couple in their history. As they go to the outside here with Yates.
They've certainly earned it today.
In fact, it started right at the beginning, 7 minutes into the contest. Drew Dorsey connected with Ruby Stevens for the game's first goal. In the second half, their presence known. They came out and attacked aggressively at the net of Denver, in which Drew Dorsey collected her 37th goal on the season. And the Assumption Knights, they want to celebrate. 30 seconds to play.
All the fans on their feet.
Corner kick. And will be denied by the Denver Cyclones. And one more go, and that ought to be it. How about this? Assumption, they got their game out onto the field and are going to cap off the 1A championship with a win. As the bracket going to be complete, and Davenport Assumption is your Class 1A state champ.
So exciting for them. All the emotions. Two really great teams out here today. Fun to watch both of them.
And in the rain, they bring home a 2-0 win over Denver to garner their school's 12th championship, as head coach Elizabeth Moss got her team back into this title match. And they're going to bring home the hardware again to Eastern Iowa. What a job in net, though, too. You think about Assumption, so many heroes. Drew Dorsey, of course, a phenomenal tournament, including the championship match. Alyssa O'Neill in net, playing her first year in net after transferring from Bettendorf. A huge, huge match today for her. You think back defensively with Caitlin O'Brien really nullifying the attack of Denver. All-around effort by the Knights.
I really loved watching these two teams play today. Neither one of them ever quit during the whole game, but Assumption just had a little bit more with them today. The emotions that they have, it's so fun to see just the passion that they put into this game.
Well, and the pink shirts are out. What a tradition.
Oh.
And of course, on the other side for Denver, again, getting so close, making it to their school's second state championship match, but coming up short here in 2025. And a valiant season, their first setback of the year for the Denver Cyclones. Will finish at 21-1-1, and for Assumption, they'll finish at 15-4-1 as each team comes over to salute their crowd. Well worth the drive for Assumption Knight fans. Let's turn it over to the all-tournament team announcement with Jason Esslinger.
Presenting the awards, representing the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union's Board of Directors, is Ron Fodness. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting your 2025 Class 1A All-Tournament team. From Davenport Assumption, Ruby Stevens. From Denver, Addison Shepard. From Underwood, Lola Paulson. From Hudson, Taylor Davis. From Hudson, Ensley Trunk. From Sioux City, Bishop Heelan, Claudia Lavariega. Also from Sioux City, Bishop Heelan, Abby Lee. From Denver, Addison Shepard. From Davenport Assumption, Drew Dorsey. From Denver, Kyra Gerke. From Davenport Assumption, Drew Dorsey. From Denver, Kenzie Snyder. And the captain of the all-tournament team from Davenport Assumption, Cameron Menke.
Well, there's a look at your all-tournament team. Your all-tournament team captain is Cameron Menke, the junior, bringing home the honors, joined by plenty of her teammates, too, as well. Drew Dorsey along that list. Plenty of players, too, from Denver. What a group, what a selection for the all-tournament team.
It was really fun, like I said before, to watch all these games, see a bunch of teams that I'd never got to see play before. What a great group right there.
Can win a lot of matches with that group, I'm sure, nationally.
It would be really fun to watch all of them play together.
So the 1A state championship in the books, Davenport Assumption, winners 2-0 as they knock down Denver here in the 1A title match. We've got the 3A title match coming your way.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting
Let's go to the trophy presentation.
Congratulations to the Denver Cyclones and head coach Derek Krebsbach. And presenting for a state record 12th time, the Class 1A state champions, the Knights from Davenport Assumption, and head coach Elizabeth Moss.
Well, that trophy case was full before. It's really full now with their 12th state soccer championship. What a job well done by Davenport Assumption. And, Coach, they did it their way, their style, their game got out onto the field.
Oh, yeah. Congratulations to the Knights. Just a really solid game from start to finish today. They never had to adjust what they were doing too much. They just could play their game. Fun to watch.
Again, it's a final. As you see, the final stamp put on as Davenport Assumption wins it 2-0. They get a goal 7 minutes into the contest and then add an insurance goal in the second half, and they are your Class 1A state champs. I want to remind you, we've got more soccer coming your way next, starting at 2:30 with the Class 3A title match as top-seeded Waukee Northwest will take on number 7 seed Linmar. That comes your way at 2:30 as you're watching the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union State Soccer Championships here on Iowa PBS.
Funding provided by
Musco Lighting is honored to support Iowa PBS. We're an Iowa company that lights local schools, community fields, and stadiums, arenas, and venues in more than 125 countries. While our reach is global, our commitment is local.
Fareway Meat and Grocery. For more than 80 years, Fareway has been proud to be an active part of the communities we serve. Learn more at fareway.com.
Across Iowa, hundreds of neighborhood banks strive to serve their communities, provide jobs, and help local businesses. Iowa banks are proud to back the life you build. Learn more at iowabankers.com.
With our Iowa roots and Midwestern values, Farmers Mutual Hail is committed to offering innovative farm insurance for America's farmers, just as we have for 6 generations. Farmers Mutual Hail, America's crop insurance company.